Hello everyone, I'm the Loon and welcome back to the 8th episode of Redstone with the Loon, where today we'll be making a showcase of, doing a tutorial of, and then explaining the redstone behind these two charcoal machines. Before we begin, I'd like to apologize. You can probably hear my laptop spin in the background. It is just going absolutely bananas and I cannot do anything about it. So sorry about that. But anyways, we have two designs to take a look at today. The one on the left is a dual charcoal machine, but it's very compact. I don't really see a need for any more than two going at once, but if you do, you have the one on the right, which is an infinitely tileable charcoal machine. So the way these machines work is pretty simple. So for this one, you just go up to the top chest, place in some logs, and for this one, you just place some logs into these hoppers, or have a minecart chest running on top of them. You should now see all of the logs being made into charcoal. Now what the machines will do is they'll cook as much as they can, which is 8 for each piece of charcoal, and then once it does that, it'll take out 1 from your output chests and put it back into the system, meaning that these machines are self-fueling. To build this dual design, you will need everything in my inventory, so you will need 8 redstone dust, 8 comparators, 2 furnaces, 8 hoppers, 4 chests, and 4 droppers. As well, you'll need some building blocks and 2 stacks 48 of charcoal. Okay, to start off is pretty simple, so you're going to want to start by placing a dropper here and here. Keep in mind that this side will be the front of your machine. And then in the middle, place a hopper facing into each dropper like this, and then blocks next to those droppers. Now coming out of the back of the dropper, place a comparator on both sides again, and then place blocks in front of the comparators, redstone dust next to those blocks, and then comparators facing into these blocks that are next to the droppers. Just like that. Next, you can just place your output. I'm going to use a chest because I think that's the nicest. Into those 2 chests, you're going to place your hoppers just like that. Then come all the way around to the front and place your 2 furnaces in just like this. Then on top of these droppers, place 2 more droppers. And then on top of those droppers, a hopper facing into the furnace. And then next to these droppers that we just placed, place some redstone dust just like that. Now come next to these hoppers right here, hoppers and droppers, I'll get them mixed up. Place 2 blocks just like that. And then on top of those, comparators facing out of your hopper. And then place some blocks just like this in this sort of U-shape, and then place redstone all on top of those. And now you have 2 more comparators to place next to these first comparators that we placed, facing into these bottom hoppers, just like that. And now all we have to do is to place our input just like this, perfect, and then go down into these furnaces, place 1 stack of charcoal in each of them. And then in the hoppers facing into the furnace, place 23 charcoal. Damn. Now you just come to the front of your furnaces, place a stack of charcoal in each, and then place... what? Now just come to your furnaces and place a stack of charcoal into each of them. And then into the hoppers facing them, place 23 additional charcoal, just like that. Last thing to do is to give this a quick test. So if we chuck all of our logs in here, you should see they get evenly divided into the 2 furnaces and they start cooking. And then we will be right back when they're almost done cooking these up. And finally, just come into each furnace, place in a stack of charcoal in each, and then into these hoppers, place 23 charcoal in each of them. And then into the droppers right below the hoppers, place in 1 charcoal for each. And just like that, your machine should be done. And if we throw in our logs, they should get evenly divided between the 2 furnaces, and then cooked into charcoal. Okay, the first one is just finished. And you should see that it isn't in your... We are just about done. Now we just place a stack of charcoal into each furnace, and then 26 charcoal, or 23 charcoal rather, into these hoppers that face into them, and then 1 into the droppers that face into those hoppers. And now, if we place in our logs, we should see they get evenly divided between the two furnaces. Yes, indeed they are. And then we'll see, once this is finished cooking up, rather than going into our output chest, so you can see it's not here, it actually goes up this item elevator and refills this charcoal thing. But now, as soon as these ones cook, they'll actually go into the output. So that's it for this first one. So if the dual design wasn't enough for you, I have this infinitely tileable design. You could put hundreds of them next to each other and they would all work perfectly. So if you do want to build this, you will need a 1x8 area along with everything in my inventory. So you will need 1 cauldron, some water, you will get the bucket back, 2 redstone dust, 1 slab, 2 redstone torches, 3 sticky pistons, some blocks of whatever to build out of, redstone comparators, 7 of those, a chest, dropper, 2 furnaces, and 4 hoppers. Keep in mind that's all the materials you'll need for one of these systems. You'll need more of these if you're doing multiple. So we'll start from the front back. So we'll place a block of the redstone torch, then comparator, redstone dust, block, comparator, redstone dust, block, and then on top of this block, a comparator with a furnace from the back of it, and then you can just place in one of any item. It really doesn't matter what type, just like that. And then a block in front of this comparator. That should send power all the way through, and if it is, then you are doing well so far. Now we're going to come back to this torch, we're going to place a block on top of that, and then diagonal from that we will place a output of some sort. In this case it is a chest, and then you will place a hopper right here just like this, another hopper on top of it facing backwards, your furnace on top of that, and then another hopper on top of it just like that. Then on the back of the furnace place yet another hopper. So now place 2 temporary blocks up here on top of this comparator in the back, place sticky piston facing down just like that, and place 2 more blocks in a pattern just like this with another sticky piston facing down like that. That'll come into play later. Now we're going to put our half slab diagonal from this solid block, comparator on top of that, block behind that, block diagonal, and comparator facing out of the hopper, just like this. Now come right next to this block and place a dropper facing upwards just like that, and then blocks just like I'm placing with the comparator on top of that, sticky piston next to this sticky piston with a cauldron filled with water, and then just take a block here, redstone comparator, block, torch, block just like that, and we are so close to done. Now just go up to your furnace, place in a stack of charcoal into it like that, then the hopper facing into it from the side, place 1 charcoal, and your machine is now operational. So let's place in 8 logs here, and if we wait a few moments we should see all the logs come in, and then if we wait a few more moments we should see 7 charcoal come into our output chest, and 1 will have gone back into the system. One small problem, this block will have been down here by default. You'll just have to move this up next to the cauldron and everything should work. Oh come on, just one more, just one more? Yes, we have got it. The machine does in fact work. You can, like I said, put multiple next to each other, and that is about it for this tutorial. So everyone, if you're still here, I'd like to apologize that I'm not actually going to be explaining the redstone today. I'm just really short for time and I have to upload this in less than an hour, so I'm not too sure I'm even going to get this up, but if I do, then I'd like to thank you all for watching, and I would ask you to leave a rating. Likes and dislikes are appreciated, and then go down to the comment section and leave some constructive criticism. I love reading it and helps me to improve my content. But until next time, see ya.